Attention gamers. First I would like to point out that I already know I don't sound like my normal self. It is totally not because some low-life bootlegging scrub is stealing my idea of having a robot read out my script so that I don't have to. I would also like to mention that this is 100% the real Rav and not a skit to mimic one of his videos. I know usually Heisman is here to bail me out of these shitty games, but unfortunately he had a dentist appointment so I had to be autofill jungle. And at that point I should have already know to just dodge this shit game or else deal with the other 4 helmet wearing keyboard slammers we call League of Legends players. Unfortunately I was feeling pretty good about the one whole other Lilia game where I had a positive KDA and decided I would just roll with it since my challenger coach Nee said dodging was for pussies. So with that said, let's ditch the sponsor this video because no one wants to run ads on a dead meme of a channel and start talking about one of the most vile creatures in the League of Legends community. Supports. If you have ever played a game of League, you probably know one of the most toxic people on the team are the ones who don't have to focus on farming, ganking, zoning, getting lane prio, or having to think for themselves in general. A support player will usually have the tendency to stroll off into a bush so that they can keep spamming your deaths in chat rather than trying to shut down the enemy bot lane they have fed all game. And I know the tendency is to just /mute all, but what's the point of playing a multiplayer game if you can't tell the monkey on the other side of the screen that they are better off eating their own shit than trying to play this game anymore? So with that being said, let's get right into it and let me explain to you why support players need to get their heads out of their asses and get better at landing hooks rather than being master keyboard warriors. The game started pretty normal. My Twitch didn't want to give me a leash because I guess he watches Nisa's videos too, and decided that giving me 3 auto attacks for a leash wasn't worth it and decided to sit in lane instead. So already behind on my clear, I can tell this was going to be a great game. After clearing red I decided to be a good jungle and look at my other lanes, only to watch Blitz walk out into the open so Pyke could clap those metal cheeks for free and let Blitz know he was going to be his bitch this game, to which Blitz responds by laughing it off. Unfortunately Pyke took that personally and decided Twitch was going to be the new winner of a grey screen. To which Blitz laughs it off again. Meanwhile I'm trying to not get turned into deer jelly by an angry rock, and thanks to my perfect kiting I was able to smite it just in time. Too bad for me, Blitz doesn't know he can't 1v2, so he decides to blow his ignite on an almost full health Kaisa and get slapped around some more before realizing he's about to be scrap metal. The one ray of sunshine top tried his best to stay alive but fortunately was able to make a trade before Darius could show him his Noxian might. So since top is dead and mid didn't have prio, I have to go bot where I get to witness firsthand that Blitz has no idea how to use his hook and decided a 1-inch pull is more effective than a 300-yard get over here. So I have to bail and watch as these primates roll up to the 3 other enemy laners looking for blood, to which my bot lane says blood for the blood gods and donate themselves. But not to worry, because as soon as Blitz is up again he decides to pink dragon while the whole enemy team is there and throw AQ to the drag while I'm trying to steal it instead of literally anything else. So he rolls bot lane to check every bush except the obvious one Pyke will be using to safely recall at least 4 times this game. On the bright side, top is dumpstering Darius, to which any good jungle would know, means that Graves is going to be coming for that shutdown, to which I say not this time bitch and steal Big Scuttle to use it to try and get Lucian out of top. Sadly Blitz is lost in the jungle and doesn't have any wards down to find his way back home, so he takes a cannon to fund his return trip. But I guess there was a storm in the jungle because not 2 seconds later Blitz is back in mid to try and make it look like he's doing something other than wasting time and stealing XP from laners. However, all that time in jungle was for nothing as I try to save my mid from a counter gank only to have a real support cuck me harder than my top laner against their Darius. And this is where reality begins to set in. As I begin to notice that Blitz is keeping tally of my deaths, I cordially remind him that he has a hook the length of the whole lane and he doesn't need to snip their assholes to yoink them. To which the master typer doesn't take too kindly to. And he decides it far more important to miss gold and XP so that he can tell me how his dad that works at Riot is gonna get my account banned. To which I realize this is going to be a syndrome video as Blitz hooks in the complete opposite direction of anything and grabs a big handful of air and I die. This just tickles his nutsack pink as he types about how it was my 5th death while being willfully ignorant to the fact he has more responses in chat than hooks landed. And after I tell Master Death Count that the whole point of his champion is to land Q. It must have caused a logic paradox to overload his processors as he decides to sit in the jungle to type about how much I suck rather than trying to do anything about the next World War III happening right on the other side of the wall. But Blitz killed Graves, so he spams Worth in chat like a troglodyte. Plus Pike never forgave Blitz from early game, so he's here to remind Blitz what an actual support can do. After that my jungle is forfeit, but since I died within 300 yards of Blitz he needs to type in chat about my 6th death. Thankfully karma exists and this bad robot gets a mouthful of face fuck from the whole enemy team as the rest of us run and watch as they mutilate his corpse. Sadly League of Legends is about LP and eventually 5 people who play the game will always beat 4 people and a master typer. Eventually my team throws in the towel and master spam ping, death counter, Q master gets to flush my LP down the toilet for free. The only silver lining I had was that even the enemy Pike said Blitz landed no hooks. And that's support syndrome. Brush your teeth, jerk your ween, don't let your LP go for free, and subscribe to this dead channel so that this shitter has some people watching his content for once in his life. Good night. And good luck on the Rift.